Welcome to today's discussion on global economic developments. I'm Sonia.
And I'm Simon. We'll be covering several key stories that have emerged recently.
Let's start with the news that the India-Israel Bilateral Investment Agreement has come into force. This pact, signed in September 2025, aims to boost cross-border investments between the two countries.
That's significant. How does this agreement enhance investor protection, and what are the key implications for businesses in both countries?
According to the reports, the new pact offers stronger investor protection while preserving the government's right to regulate in the public interest. It also reduces the local remedies exhaustion period for Israeli investors to 3 years.
Reducing the exhaustion period to 3 years is quite a change. What does that mean in practice for Israeli investors in India?
It means they can seek international arbitration sooner if they face disputes, potentially speeding up the resolution process. The agreement also aims to create a more predictable framework for investments.
That sounds like a positive development for investors. Are there specific sectors that this agreement is expected to benefit, such as AI, defense, or deep technology?
Yes, the pact is expected to support cooperation in sectors like AI, defense, and deep technology, which are areas of significant interest for both India and Israel.
Shifting gears, I've come across reports that small businesses in U.S. tourist destinations are seeing a boost this summer. Apparently, Americans are opting for domestic travel over international trips.
That's right. Businesses around Lake Tahoe, Asheville, and Kansas City are noticing more customers choosing road trips and local excursions over overseas vacations.
What factors are driving this trend towards domestic tourism? Is it primarily due to higher airfares and gasoline prices making international travel more expensive?
The reporting suggests that higher airfares and gasoline prices are significant factors. Many Americans are finding it more economical to travel within the country rather than abroad.
That makes sense. Are there any indications of how long this trend might continue? Are there forecasts suggesting whether domestic tourism will remain resilient?
The articles don't provide specific forecasts, but they do indicate that as long as airfares and gasoline prices remain high, domestic tourism is likely to stay strong.
Related to travel, there's been news about the recovery in international air travel by Indian carriers.
How is that unfolding? According to recent reports, international air travel is showing signs of recovery as geopolitical tensions in West Asia ease. At the same time, domestic passenger demand in India remains resilient.
That's interesting. What role does easing tensions in West Asia play in this recovery? And how significant is the continued domestic demand?
The reduction in geopolitical tensions is creating a more favorable operating environment for airlines. Demand remaining strong is also a positive sign for the aviation sector.
I've been reading about India's service exports growing significantly. How have they performed recently, and what challenges are they facing?
India's service exports have risen to $418 billion in 2025-26, nearly as large as goods exports. However, there's a mention of a problem related to the going Dutch trend that could impact Indian exports.
What exactly is the going Dutch trend, and how does it affect Indian exports?
The term refers to a practice where countries might favor their own service providers. If other countries adopt protectionist measures or going Dutch, it could create challenges for Indian service exporters.
That's a concern. With India aiming for a $1 trillion exports milestone, how critical is it to address such challenges?
Very critical. The Commerce Minister has called it an ambitious target, and addressing potential trade barriers will be essential to achieving it.
Let's move to a different story. Pakistan has introduced new measures to expand access to housing finance under the Prime Minister's Apnagar program.
That's right. The Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan has allowed non-banking finance companies to offer housing loans, providing additional avenues for citizens.
How significant is this expansion, and what impact could it have on housing finance in Pakistan?
This move is expected to increase access to housing finance by involving more players in the market. It could make it easier for people to secure housing loans.
Are there any indications of how this might affect the overall housing market in Pakistan? Could it lead to more construction or higher property prices?
The reports don't provide detailed forecasts on property prices, but increasing access to housing finance is generally seen as positive for the housing market.
As we wrap up today's discussion, it's clear that there are several significant economic developments unfolding globally. From investment pacts to tourism trends, each story offers insights into broader economic shifts.
That's all for today. Thank you for tuning in.
Goodbye, and see you later.